The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you find it hard staying optimistic with all the financial news in the media? I'm Bernard Hickey, and on my podcast, When the Facts Change, I'm here to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of economics in Aotearoa. So join the conversation every Friday on When the Facts Change, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in partnership with KiwiBank.
Science has never been more important as we confront the biggest challenges of our time. Explore postgraduate study in science at the University of Otago. Find out more at otago.ac.nz/PG Sciences.
Kia ora, welcome to The Real Recap. We are The Real Pod, recapping Celebrity Treasure Island. My name's Jane Yee, joined by Alex Casey and Duncan Grieve. Kia ora. How you going, guys?
Kia ora, Jane. Very well, thank you. Enjoying the, what do you call this?
A biscuit.
Fruits of my labour.
Oh my God,
cookie
I have
challenge.
crumbs on me forehead, guys.
Oh my
Crumbs
God,
on me
me too.
forehead. Huge week on the island this week. Every week's a huge week, but this week, I mean, the cookie challenge happened for a start. Okay, just before we get into it, I want to do a quick plug for Breast Assured, which is a new podcast on the Spin-off Podcast Network, hosted by Sarah Gandy. It's all about boobs. Great, fun, frank chat, and important chat as well, but a great listen. So please go and check it out. Also, please vote for us for Listener's Choice at the NZ Podcast Awards. Go to nzpodcastawards.com and vote for The Real Pod. Thank you. Right, episode 19 of Celebrity Treasure Island. We start with Lance explaining to Brinley that Edna thinks she's in the foursome, but she's not really in the awesome foursome. And so this is kind of just how the rest of the week plays out. Edna thinking she's in alliances that she's not in, essentially.
Feel bad for poor Edna.
Also, Lance doesn't want to be captain anymore. He's so over it. He doesn't want to make the hard decisions.
He wants the gold, and who can blame him?
He's keen for some new betting, and there's only one way to get there, and that's to win some pirate gold.
The way that he, I mean,
know?
we're getting ahead of ourselves, but the way that he uses the audacity of his use of pirate goals, highly leveraged phantom gold, is really, really amazing.
Just-
God, I love Lance.
Such an amazing player. I'm having a bit of trouble on this podcast because I learned just yesterday that Lance Savali listens to this podcast.
No.
So now my
can't
mouth
be
is
true.
dry. I'm quaking.
You
The
got
pressure.
crumbs all over your forehead.
I have crumbs, not just my forehead, Duncan, everywhere.
Everywhere.
I am just crumbs. I'm made of crumbs at this point.
That's a horror. I don't believe it. I think we need proof.
Yeah.
Well, this
I think
came
Lance
from
needs to post it on Instagram.
Lance, please prove to us that you listen to this podcast.
Send us a signal.
Can't wait.
Send us a sign.
Okay. What else is happening? Oh, God.
They did the fashion show. They did the fashion show right at the start, and Chris is having some fun, and then he says it's not a real pirate hunt, which is both like a funny kind of moment of clarity, but it's also like the best parts of the most recent like couple of weeks have been because they all seem to be under the misapprehension that this was a real pirate hunt and the stakes were incredibly high, and it was they sort of had got in their own heads a bit, and I just didn't. I both loved the kind of whimsy of the silliness, but I also was mourning the fact that they had all just got very, very intense just prior to then.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks to a lot of reality TV, right, where we contestants come out the other side, and we've heard it countless times about when you're in there, it becomes your real world. It's like a crazy psychological experience that somehow you just think, even on the silliest of all shows like this one, where you're surrounded by celebrities. Like, this is not the real world in any way. You're buying, I mean, Matt Chisholm is crushing eggs on his face like an absolute maniac.
That's
like,
normal.
this is no way this is like the normal real world. And yet,
To be honest,
they truly believe it is.
Matt Chisholm is probably walking around crashing eggs on his face.
It's all he does.
As a civilian, yeah.
That's true.
Goes for a walk.
I wonder how much of this is like that tsunami, you know, pulling them out of the game physically, you know, if that's
Pop
kind
the
of what
buzz
we're
up.
seeing now. Yeah.
They've remembered. It was, right.
The other
Like the
idea I
Truman
had
Show.
while watching the early stages was that, because I really wanted to do the big maths challenge, like the 2 giant numbers. And I was like, obviously Rainbow's End exists. I'm not denying it. But I feel like a Treasure Island theme park where you could go, that was kind of like Holy Moly-ish, where you could just go and do the challenges, that would work as like
Corporate gigs.
corporate gigs, mates.
Yeah.
You know, obviously this is in some future where you can have mates and leave your house and so on, which we've got no proof that future even exists. But I think it would work. I feel like people would do this. Like, you get the branding of Treasure Island. Basically, this is how Disney works, right? Like, you have all of your IP and then you maximize it by putting it into theme parks and all the rest of it. Julie Christie or Warner Brothers or whoever ends up owning this, you know, as the ultimate owner of this would work. This is a real thing that someone should do.
This would be, I can imagine the spin-off Christmas party, human centipede challenge, you know? And get to the end of that and solve a maths equation, balance a ball on a pedal. Like, what
I
fun,
would love to do
know?
the one
to
where you
see
put the balls, the different balls in the channel. That one, I feel like would kill at a Christmas party.
Oh, the great Candy Ange Bloomfield.
Yeah.
I hated that one. It seemed so stressful to me. I don't know
That's
why.
why I want to do it. I need a release from real life stress.
Chris Parker was wearing Art Green's shorts, and I have it on good authority that he still is in possession of those shorts, and I have been trying to lobby to get them submitted to the museum. I don't think he's going to give them up, though.
They look like great shorts.
Yeah, but I mean, imagine Art Green's shorts.
Wow.
They're probably worth real, actual money.
That would be worth us like springing for a mannequin, you know, for the
Yeah.
museum. Those need to be.
What kind of mannequin would be the same shape as, is it Arthur or Artemis?
I believe it's Arthur. I think
Well,
we have
can
to,
we get
have
hold
to
of the
get a
statue
kind
of
of a
David or
wax
something?
Madame Tussauds type waxwork.
No, money is no object.
Okay. The charity challenge was this lollies and ping pong ball business. It was very boring. The best bit of the charity challenge was Jess saying, bearing in mind that Anna's not won a single dime for her charity, Jess saying, I'm getting a bit tired of not winning the charity challenge. I've won 4 so far, but it's been a week and a half since I won one.
Jess is such a beast.
Jess.
I want Jess to win, kind of.
Same.
She's
I
pretty.
think she will.
Yeah.
She's so multidimensionally great as well. Like,
She's also so nice. Like, we've no reason not to like her, you know? At no point has she been prickly. Okay, so Anna won that challenge, by the way, and it is in this moment I've written in my notes, it's hit me how funny it is that Buck Shelford is there.
It's so unbelievably good.
I know we've talked about this, but like, it's so funny that like this amazing icon of New Zealand rugby, New Zealand culture in general, is on Celebrity Treasure Island.
it's so funny.
And he's wearing transition lenses.
And he's like going down a slip and slide. Like, it is so funny. And also, he kind of is hating it, and yet he's still there. It's everything about it is great.
I think he's half loving it, half hating it. Like, you can tell that the prospect of potentially not having to move house because he's just hanging out on a beach is really starting to excite him.
Yeah, I reckon he was all down, no, I'm not going to do this. And then he saw the dates and was like, hello, that's around our moving time. If I
Everything
stay on
could-
the island long enough, I'm not going to have to help with the house move. Team face-off was a chest filled with numbers. This is the big, long maths equation that you talked about. I totally would have fancied myself in this one doing the maths. Weird how the numbers went on more You know, like there was a whole lot of numbers at the front that they didn't have to add up.
It was very confusing. Was it like this? They were smaller under them?
Yeah, like the answer was smaller underneath than it was with the 2 lines on top. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's some words.
It's definitely something.
Thank you.
I found it very confusing. Many ones to be carried. Many ones to be carried in that situation.
What happened? Who won? Repo won. Jess smashed the maths. I thought it was going to be Bryn's, but I don't know what happened. She came undone.
They got nachos. Yum.
Oh, yeah. I'm loving nacho. Again, just all really yummy food.
They're eating well.
They're eating so good. So this is so who has to, Katapo have to change their captain?
Yes.
Right, no, Repo. What?
No. Oh, no, they have the power to vote. Katipo can vote for Repo's new captain.
Oh, is that when did they win that?
I was some other time.
I'm so confused.
There's too many scrolls.
Oh, God, the only scrolls I want are ones you can eat. Okay. I don't know. I've got written down here something about a scroll and voting and things. And Chris thinks he's convinced everyone in his team to vote Bryn in as the new Repo captain. Jess and Anna aren't so sure. Bryn does win it in the end.
Yeah, because Anna changes her vote.
She was going to go for Candy.
Yeah, I wish they'd voted in Candy. I would have loved the chaos of a Candy Buck alliance having that much power. The intrigue of the captaincy debate was really, really fun, but I do think that they made quite an obvious strategic boo-boo by putting Bryn in that position.
Not only does it put one of the strongest players like in an immunity, it's also a player that literally everyone knows is in an alliance with someone from the other team.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't think Anna gets any of it, to be honest. I think she's just looking. I think she's looking forward to going home. She did do a lovely swim though this week, finally.
Oh, and the individual challenge.
Yeah,
that's
she did a good
always
swim.
good to see. Also,
just keeping my eye on her.
There could still be time for Candy in the captaincy. You know, we don't know.
Well, she's undefeated.
Yeah.
She
Hang on.
can't.
There's no captaincy left, is there?
There's no captaincy
Oh
left.
shit!
She's the captain of her own ship. Wow.
Wow.
Amazing. Okay, what else happened? Captain's challenge was the trivia seesaw.
Oh yeah.
Didn't need to be best of 3. Could have just been that first. It just went on and on and on.
So boring. I skipped that. Also, it just didn't feel like Lana made good decisions about where she put her blocks. I think spreading them was there was too much vertical force.
Sure.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean...
Need a physicist. Need Sean Handy on here to review the stacking technique.
Also, during that challenge, they mentioned Honu, and I was like... Huh?
Yeah.
Who's
What?
How long ago was it? I don't even remember Honu. What's Honu? Honu, the original Legends team, that just like the name that just disappeared and was never heard of again until this moment. It's so bizarre.
It genuinely freaked me out. You know, I feel like we're pretty good on our reality TV trivia and we pay pretty close attention to these shows. I got nothing right in that quiz.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just goes to show how scrambled our brains are right now. Couldn't remember anything.
When they were like in last season of Celebrity Treasure, I was like, well, if the answer isn't Sam Wallace, I can't help you.
Alex Casey only knows the whiz from that
And
season.
it's all you need to know.
Only fact.
It was all a bit predictable in terms of Brynley and Chris this week because Bryn won the captain's challenge. She won the opportunity to have a 30-minute chat with someone from the other team. And of course she chose Chris, which was like unsurprising. I mean, I do love their friendship and I love the kind of the tension it's created and also like the cross-team alliances that it's created throughout this season. But I kind of want them to mix it up a bit, you know? Like I kind of, with the massage as well later on when Chris was given the opportunity to take someone because Lance didn't want to have to choose. And of course he chose Bryn. Makes sense that they're able to have those chats, but also maybe confuse people a little by mixing it up. Or I don't know.
You know?
Get into someone else's head.
Get back to the spa.
Fuck.
Okay, we're up to the next episode. Candy and Edna have been rivals for a couple of days, and then we open this episode with them doing a rice dance together, which is nice to see that they'd built a bridge.
Love to see it.
But have they? Because Candy buries Edna's bad rice.
Yeah, it's true. It's
which
true.
is real shady
funny.
behaviour. I know. I love
And when she
it.
says she forgives, but she never forgets.
And also,
And she also hasn't forgiven.
Yeah, true.
but also the banana. There was that the amazing shot of like Buck's rooting around in his knapsack looking for a banana that he swears was there, and then they cut to this shot of Candy just very innocently kind of like picking up a banana and peeling it and kind of just looking around the vista and noshing away on a banana that can only be Buck's. She's a smiling assassin, the salsaing assassin.
I don't think Candy would ever do Buck like that. They've got each other, and that's literally all.
It was definitely a 2 banana situation, eh?
It was absolutely a 2
It's
banana
just clever
sitch.
editing, which I love. Okay, the charity challenge was the cookie on the face thing, which far easier than they made it look, as we've found out.
Maybe we would all win Celebrity Treasure Island, apart from Alex. So all the rest of us would win Celebrity Treasure
It
Island.
was a very small cookie for me, which I think is harder. Don't you think? Because you've got to, like, do more movements. We need Sean Hendy!
I tell you what I found when I was practicing is that the trick is early on is to actually tilt your head as much as you don't want to because you feel like your cookie's going to fly off your face. So rather than just trying to use your eyebrows, you tilt your head to get it down to the eye, and from there you use, again, a combination of muscle movement and angles to get it to the mouth. Or your,
It's just quite.
your COVID
If you
hole.
told me, having not seen the face-off, if you told me that it was possible to put a cookie on your forehead and get it to your mouth without using your hands, I wouldn't believe you. I'd say you were crazy. And then you see it on TV, and you're like, "Wow,
Definitely one
I'm
to try.
always learning."
Definitely one to try at home. Like,
Anything is possible.
truly, go get a cookie and have a hoon. It's good fun. Okay.
Edna won despite all the Botox.
Yeah.
Could have worked to her advantage.
Because of Bryn and Chris have a cup of coffee together, and it was what I really enjoyed about this was Bryn doing like a summary of all the drama that had been happening over at Repo that Chris hadn't been privy to.
Except that was basically the real pod. I was like, hey, get off our lawn, comedians. You know?
How dare you talk about things?
How dare you talk about what you've seen on the show? That is
you're right.
our job. That's copyright the spin-off.
Okay, well, we'll just get some legal documents drafted up on that.
That's
Watch
right.
What I did love
That's
about
right.
it, though, was just like, I mean, we've talked about this, how there's no gossip right now. There's nothing to talk about.
Oh, God,
even
there's so much gossip on the telly, though, isn't there?
But
on
there's
the
so much
island.
gossip on the telly, and seeing Chris like react to the gossip kind of like fed my need for gossip. Like, I was so happy for him getting this gossip, and I was so jealous that I have no gossip. I have no new gossip.
I think the way that he just unabashedly loves gossip, I feel like people can be quite judgy about gossip and say, oh, I don't like gossip, and they won't admit it. They won't admit that they love the beautiful art of gossip, and I get quite annoyed at that. And I think either you're lying, best explanation, or you're telling the truth. You really don't like gossip, and I'm like, ugh, so dull. Never want to talk to you,
Duncan, no one is telling the truth.
So
They might not like that they like gossip, but everyone likes
it's
gossip.
so good, and I just really enjoyed how passionate and unashamed Chris was about his love for the beautiful goss.
They found a scroll on the table, and it was a scroll letting them know that the merge was happening tonight after the challenge and to keep it a secret, which is like exciting for them to know that for sure. But at the same time, everyone would have deduced that, right? That when they went down from 9 to 8, they were going to be merging. So I'm not sure how much of an advantage that was. And then they had this amazing section of Edna, the first of many, explaining how she thinks the alliance is working and how this particular alliance came together so magically. Like, there was a sequence of events that led to everyone ending up in this alliance that her and Lance started last week, or, you know, a few days ago, when in fact, actually the others had all been together since the beginning of time. It was beautiful.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I love it. But, you know, Edna's, she's spraying her seed. You know, she's going to Jess. I can't
I
say
think it's
that.
okay.
But, you know, she's going her Jess as well. She's not putting all her eggs/seeds.
She's spraying her seed.
The thing is that Eda is so obviously being left out of this awesome foursome.
Yeah.
Like, not only with the massage, but then when they're having, like, the chat about clues and they're like, you're not part of this. And she still thinks she's in it.
She thinks she's in every alliance.
Yeah, but
and
also...
she's in an alliance with everyone.
She also is, like, the moment she gets fucked off with someone, she'll she's going to, like, alliance what, you know? I don't know that she's a particularly loyal alliance member.
I reckon Edna Candy, it's coming. Dynamic duo.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Okay, team face-off was for a big breakfast, which again, yum, really could smash one of those right now. It was balls on sticks over obstacles into buckets.
Classic.
And Repo won it. Katapo start calling themselves the Awesome Foursome, which Chris very funnily described as being like when you're cheating with someone and they start using the pet name that your partner uses for you.
And then he very aggressively underlined that he'd never cheated, which I was quite impressed with.
Lance
Bass.
Lance really wanted to do the elimination challenge. Like, Bryn didn't want to put him up. She felt that it would, if he ended up going home, it would obviously create a major weakness in their alliance. She felt they really needed him. He really, really, really wanted to do it. Like, he had something to prove, right?
Yeah. I don't know why he's so obsessed.
He wanted that PG. He wanted that Putia.
He did, yeah. Again, he was thinking of the bed sheets. What's happening, Alex?
I just thought, every time we mention, I can see all the people of Mount Eden from my window.
Are you looking for Lance?
I'm looking for Lance. I'm always looking for Lance.
Imagine doing a live, just going live out the window.
Such a creep.
It was so in Lance's favour, though. It's like obviously as a dancer, his balance is like literally all world, and it was. It just didn't even look real because those things are so.
It looked like
wobbly.
his one wasn't suspended, like it was fixed.
Yeah.
It was just a plank on the ground.
And then he even like forgot the order, which I can completely understand because I was like, I'll nail that. And then I looked at it, and within seconds of Chizzo turning the board over, I was like, huh? Was there even a green in there? I don't know what's happening. And he just sat down for a lovely time while Lana worked away at her tower, waited for her to need to see the puzzle again. Even if she didn't, even if she remembered it, I think he still would have beaten her just by like going for what colour she was going for and doing it faster.
It was so cool.
Oh, he absolutely wiped the floor with her.
It was so cool to just like chill out in the middle of like what is supposed to be the most intense moment of the show, to just go, I'm just going to wait. Classic Lance.
And the result was always clear. Like, because even if he'd forgotten it every time, he could just watch her and do whatever she was doing faster. So it was the most dominant performance in this.
Literally just said that, Duncan, but good to see you put your listening headphones on.
Scientists are leading the conversations about the future of Aotearoa and the biggest challenges of our time: our land, ocean and climate, our physical and mental well-being, our food health. It's never been more important to understand science. At the University of Otago, you'll study alongside world-renowned experts and researchers. Explore your postgraduate options now. He heringa tangata, he tūhura kōrero. Find out more at otago.ac.nz/PG Sciences.
Okay, so Lance won some lovely putia, which is timely because there's the pirate market coming up and the merge is on. The new camp is the Katapo camp, and Jess sadly found herself sitting at the adult table at the wedding and wasn't able to sit with the other kids. She's in she's bed partners, as Candy puts it, bed partners with Candy, Buck, and Anna. I mean, if you want a snooze fest while you sleep, then that's the right place to be.
I'd love to hang out with those three, to be honest. But
I wouldn't mind it. They've got bananas for Africa. It's all good.
But I think that like the young troupe made a grave error by excluding Jess, because now the huge smiling assassin has got even more reasons to sort of unleash a very specific brand of like just excellence in all future challenges.
I kind of would love to see an oldies plus Jess takedown of the young'uns.
It's so good.
Because the generational divide thing is kind of crazy. Like, I don't want to sound like every person's lady, but I feel like I could be friendly with both sides of the age groups. You know, is it because of my age that I'm kind of I'm not too far away?
I feel
from
like we'd get on the show and we'd think that the young people would really be keen to hang out, and then we'd be
oh my god, you're so right,
bucking it.
So right, I am so. Sleeping. I was about to say sleeping with fucking Candy and Anna.
You can dream.
But in the truest, purest sense, just having a sleep in their room. God. Fuck my life. There was a charities challenge, which was a slip and slide that some of them were just so spectacularly bad at, particularly Anna first up. I feel like if you're first up, you're at a complete disadvantage here because you don't get to see what the competition does. You don't get to see how far you should push yourself to better them. But she really gave herself no shot. She moved, 1.5 metres? She basically just fell forward.
It was unbelievably funny. I want to know, what's this goo they're rubbing on themselves?
It was eggs, wasn't it?
No.
No! It's dishwashing liquid.
That was so... Oh,
it makes you slippery.
Oh, that's boring.
Eggs
is weird, but...
Oh, no, that'd be disgusting.
It just feels
if
like...
Chizzo had been there, it would be
everything is eggs up there. It's the only thing that they've got in unlimited supply of.
Again, Lance absolutely smashed this, went for seemingly 300 metres and then pulled some backspins and all sorts. Absolute legend. And now we're on to our first individual challenge. This is where they knock down each other's faces. This was an interesting one, strategically. You absolutely didn't have to be the first person back to the tower.
No. If anything, it was a massive disadvantage.
Chris was out there exhausting himself for 24 minutes before the next person arrived. And then Lance was one of the last two to get up there and still managed to win it.
And I think the only reason people hadn't knocked Lance's photo off was, as they said, because no one recognised him.
That's a sick photo.
It really didn't look like him. It's just they thought it was just like the stock image that arrives in a photo frame. No one was going home as part of this challenge. What was actually happening is there's going to be a pirate market that evening, and instead the winner of this challenge and the winner of the next challenge that we're going to see will choose who goes home. Is that right? No, who goes into elimination, sorry.
Yeah.
And they themselves will be immune from being nominated. Got it. Okay, I think I've got my head around it. Edna described the photo of Lance as looking like a Yellow Page stripper photo. And I'm like, how does she even know what Yellow Pages are? Surely too young.
I missed that. She's a businesswoman. She's across all the mediums.
It's true. It's true. She's not missing any clientele. She's hitting up the Yellow Pages. She's in the Coffee News.
Speaking of the Coffee News, listen to Fold in a couple of weeks for an exclusive interview with the master franchise owner for the Coffee News New Zealand, Rudy Cox.
Wow.
Cannot wait.
Rudy
Cannot
Cox.
wait. Okay.
Yes.
He sounds like he should be on this podcast, to be honest. Okay. Edna, this is where she strikes up her side alliance with Jess because Lance takes Chris and Brindley off for a lovely massage. The three massage mates talk about trying to swap Edna out for Jess. Like they're trying to play chess with Jess and swap their pawn for a queen or something. Is that how it works? And what else happened? Oh, then we had the market. Lance just pushing up the bidding.
Just really amazing that because I want to know, surely the rules don't imagine someone bidding with pirate gold they don't have.
I really wanted him to win and then see what happens.
Exactly.
Pirate debt.
Exactly. Like imagine pirates, you'd lose your left hand. Like it, I think it could have got quite gory. It was just amazing. Like the audacity of him and the way that he basically convinced them to massively overpay for some quite random shit and then bought a clue and some betting for like 3 PGs. It was really, really great.
And I was like, $1.
Lance just had like...
Yeah, we're just swapping out coin equals dollar because I'm into it.
I know. It was just such an incredible week for Lance. Like every single metric, he just completely outperformed.
Totally. It was definitely his week to shine. And if you're listening, Lance, please share this podcast on the social networks. Thank you. There was a stand-down scroll that Edna and Chris bought. What does that mean again? Stand-down scroll.
Don't know.
I can't remember. I don't know. Something to do with the eliminations. And oh my God. No, I scrolled down and I've got like last week's notes underneath and I thought there's another episode and I just about cried. That's kind of it.
Candy unraveled her clue and it was very cute watching back. He's like, I've never seen a clue before.
I know, that's
yeah.
so cute.
He loved it. Couldn't believe
him.
how long it was. And to be fair, he's right. I've been surprised at the length of those clues.
The beginning bit is the same every time. I think we've established this. The really big beginning bit is just
It's just
the
preamble.
retelling of
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Yeah, Lost at Sea.
Malarkey in the forest.
Remember when someone who was really, I think it might have been Edna and Kim were like trying to figure out who the pirate was? Like, I've never even heard of that guy. It's like, don't think that's the important bit. I think you just need to know barrel, cannon, book. Okay, that's us. It's us. We're done. Till next week.
We've done so
Thank you.
well, haven't
We're
we?
clapping ourselves. Well
Thank
done
you,
us.
Jane.
All right, look, we're in like week 764 of lockdown here in Auckland and we have lost our minds.
Not well, eh?
Crumbled into cookies. Thank you to T.I. here for recording. Thank you to Tina for editing. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Duncan. Thanks to the celebs. And also thank you to the cornies in the Real Pop
And thank
Corner.
you to Lance for help getting the word out there.
Whoa. Yeah, thank you, Lance. Thanks in advance to our friend Lance. Duncan's quickly going to do a members plug. Quick, go.
I mean this very, very sincerely, that we times is hard. We're in lockdown. The commercial returns aren't what they normally are, and I did a bit of a plea to members about 10 days ago, not knowing how they would respond, and they really came in. And very much, if you're listening and you are one of those members, it means so much. I really, really appreciate it. And if you're listening and you've always been meaning to become a member, now's the time. We would really, 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 really appreciate it.
And also if you've never thought about it even one single time before, but now you're like, seize the day. Carpe diem, become a
Just
member.
one coin, one pirate gold.
Well,
All right.
Or more.
or more.
Just whatever.
Just go
Whatever you think
Lance.
it's
Go the
worth,
full
you
Lance.
know?
Bye.
Bye.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spin-Off. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spin-Off member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. The Spin-Off Podcast Network.